Hello, I'm Johnny Latham, and I'm one of the people who leads 180, which is a psychology behaviour support charity working with young people aged 4 to 16, so school-aged young people. What I'm going to be doing is probably giving you a bit of a good sense of what 180 is, and I'm going to save some of the statistics and the success, the ways that we measure success to the questions just at the end. This is 180, and this is actually what we do. We map out complex stories in simple ways, which helps professionals, families, schools, and the young people themselves understand why are they behaving, or why have they started behaving as they do. It's about helping someone who sees their history and changing their future. This actual picture is the story of a young person who has worked with us, who slipped through the net of lots of different services, and then this is also the story where in 6 weeks we managed to reintegrate them. We managed to reintegrate them back into school and back on track. I'm going to give you a real life example of a young person that I'm particularly working with at the moment. I'm going to call him David, and David's 14, but around about the time of 12, 13, he started disengaging with school, and the school have put in a lot of other behaviour support services, your more traditional anger management type stuff, to kind of retain him, but they weren't having an effect, so they came to us, and we knew that the family were having issues around drugs and alcohol. We knew that when he was in school, he showed signs that he didn't feel safe in school, but we couldn't really get much more than that. So what we did is we mapped out David's basic map as much as we could do, and we showed David. And actually from that point onwards, and this is the key, one of the key things to what we do, is that opened a door for David. He saw, wait a minute, someone understands where I've come from, and maybe they understand where I'm going to, and he started unpicking some of the things that he thought were normal. And one of the things for David was that, he wanted to go to school initially, but he was told to keep on guard at the house while other people went out and did whatever they wanted to do. And so when he left to go to school, he was told off. And then there's other times where David might have been in school and he was asked to save some of his school dinner to feed some of his siblings because the money was going elsewhere. David didn't because he was hungry, and so David came home and he was told off. And so school became the problem. It was the cause of the problems for him. School became the enemy. But it was nothing about school. He had it all mixed up because of the mess and the confusion of the situation. And we just knew what was going on from then, and we were able to retrack for him where he'd gone wrong and where he could go from there. Very few short-term services work with highly emotional and often aggressive young people when we start with them. But we do. And very few services link up family work, therapeutic work, and also link it into academic support. But we do. And this is probably the key thing. Very few services like ours see success as much as 94% of re-engaging young people back into school. And the young people that we map out see that, 94%. So you can imagine how many local authorities approach us and say, oh, could you do it here, could you do it there? And what we said, actually, our service costs about £140,000, and that's still with therapists and specialists in various fields. We pay for about 3 days a week, and then for the rest of the time they volunteer their time, which is quite key. We also have a load of volunteers from the local universities in Oxford. And that's what we cost. But Hounslow and Buckinghamshire put their money where their mouth is, and they said, could you pilot it with us 4 young people? We're going to pay you £12,000. And we piloted, and we saw, they started in January, after 4 months, about 2 out of the 3 targets that we initially set with the local authority were achieved. So now that we know that it's not just unique to Oxfordshire, it's possibly actually replicable anywhere. And this is what we're asking from you. We're just a group of researchers, social workers, teachers, therapists, but we're certainly not business people, and we want to get our development right, and we want to create a sustainable model of what we do that can be replicated. We've managed it in Oxfordshire, but actually how we do that outside of that is one of the questions we need to answer. We also want to base someone in Hounslow. At the moment we have our specialists driving from Oxford to London, but if we can base someone there, not only can we support what we believe to be 10 families, but we believe we can strengthen the existing market, and also we can respond as and when problems arise for those young people. That costs us £20,000, and that is to support 10 families. But what we worked out was that actually, if we also put an extra £11,000 in there, we could almost double the amount of success we're having. We think we could support 17 families. We not only diversify the skill base, but if you can diversify it, it means if we get referred a young person through to our service, if there's the skills there, the likelihood of them seeing success is much higher. So I'll leave it to you. Thank you so much for listening to that bit, and I'm very, very happy to answer any questions right now.